Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, Apple, it's been rumored they want to get into Bitcoin and crypto for such a long time, and their big event is right around the corner. In fact, 5 minutes. Are they about to jump into Bitcoin and crypto? Let's discuss. And also, besides Apple, there are some very, very bullish metrics and indicators I want to show you guys. This could indicate that what we're seeing right now is a local bottom and Bitcoin is about to go to the moon. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, articles, and guides on CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Welcome. People are feeling good. A lot of people in the live chat already. Let's dive right in. Well, you could see, let's start out with, of course, Bitcoin. But before I show you the chart, the big thing I want to talk about is this, of course, the big Apple event. And every year Apple has this, and every year Apple announces several new products. New iPhone 13, maybe there's iPhone Pro, there may be new iMacs, iPads, but the big thing is Apple ready to dive into crypto, right? We got a hint, we got a glimpse of that earlier this year, so thank you to Little Moon Lambo for retweeting this, because Apple back in May, so it's been several months now, they put up this job posting, Business Development Manager / alternative payments. So yes, we know Apple and Apple Pay is a big part of the iOS ecosystem, right? Not only can you pay, for iOS, your App Store stuff, but you could also use Apple Pay to pay for physical things and online purchase and everything, right? But what does alternative payments mean? Well, clearly, they define it right here, such as payment providers, such as digital wallets and cryptocurrency. They laid it out in their job posting. They're looking for someone to really beef up Apple Pay, right? So, could Apple be announcing a digital wallet, and could they be announcing that they will be accepting crypto within their Apple Pay wallet? Maybe. We'll find out. We won't have to wait much longer. And maybe something even bigger gets announced. Maybe Apple announces that they bought Bitcoin and they're holding it on their balance sheet. That would be huge. That would be way bigger than what we experienced yesterday with the fake news of Walmart and Litecoin. If Apple announced that they bought Bitcoin, it would literally send Bitcoin above like 60, 70,000 instantly. Like, that would be enormous. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I do know this will happen. Whether or not it gets announced today, it doesn't really matter, because we know Apple wants to stay competitive. We know that PayPal already has PayPal already has Bitcoin and crypto. They're already helping merchants, they're helping retailers, and they're helping average Joes to just send money worldwide using crypto. They're working on their wallet. We know Cash App already has it, right? Everyone else is working on it, so they don't want to be left in the dust with this. We know Samsung's working on it for sure too. So this is just a matter of time. A matter of time before this gets approved. All right, so what about these awesome bullish metrics or indicators I was talking about? Well, number one is the impending golden cross, which actually should happen either today or tomorrow. So this is zoomed in right now. Bitcoin is at 46.6. And on the 15-minute, it had formed a golden cross already. But going out to the daily, you could see the red line. Okay, I don't know if you could see the red line, but red line and green line is like right about to meet right now. Right now. So what does that mean? That's the 50-day moving average and a 200-day moving average. And whenever the 50-day crosses above the 200, that usually means that there's a lot of momentum. That means that things are looking pretty good. And if you look at the last time Bitcoin formed a golden cross was back here In May of 2020, when Bitcoin was at $8,000, $9,000. That was the last time on a daily chart that Bitcoin formed a golden cross, right? It did form a death cross recently after it fell down, but you could see we picked ourselves up, Bitcoin did, and started rallying back up, and we're about to form that golden cross once again. And as a technical indicator, this is as bullish as it gets. So this is coming. This is also very, very, very bullish. But if you're not a TA guy, you're like, I don't care about these lines. I don't care about what the lines say. Well, then you should pay attention to this, okay? Bitcoin exchange reserves is lower now than November of 2020. And back then, Bitcoin was only around $12,000 or $13,000. So what does that mean exactly? Well, that means the number of Bitcoins floating out there on all the major exchanges like Coinbase and Gemini and Binance and everyone else is dwindling. It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And the fact that Bitcoin is at where it is right now, 46, 47,000, and there's less of it on exchanges, right, than November 2020, before we had this big run up, tells you something. That, yeah, even at this level, people are buying. Not just people, institutions and companies and countries and everyone else. So that is also very, very bullish. And I've been talking about this for quite some time in terms of reserves, not just for Bitcoin, for Ethereum. And I'm sure if you measure some of these major altcoins, it's possibly the same way. But I know for Bitcoin and Ethereum for sure, the reserves keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. So that is very, very bullish. So we have some very major bullish things going on, right? Today, Apple, which we will probably find out what's going on pretty soon. We have a golden cross that's about to form on a daily. That's very bullish. And we have reserves of Bitcoin just keep dropping lower and lower and lower and lower. And that's not all. That's not all. Not that we need his endorsement, but Kevin O'Leary, who recently turned into a big Bitcoin bull or DeFi bull, expects trillions of dollars to be flowing into Bitcoin and crypto. He has done a complete 180, also has become a FTX spokesperson. But he believes that DeFi is such a golden opportunity, right? What the SEC is doing now is kind of like setting the stage of the future. Obviously, Gary Gensler goes really gung-ho about trying to shut everything down. That's going to hinder progress for sure and innovation in the U.S. But the good thing is crypto is not just limited to the U.S. So other countries will embrace it and it'll still continue to grow. But I don't expect that to happen. I don't think Kevin expects that to happen. Gary is... We just have to see. I did a whole video about him yesterday, right? He's supposed to talk in front of the senators today. And I believe he already did. And it didn't really affect the price. Basically, he went up, said what he plans on doing, whether or not he has authority to do so. And he even admitted that not every crypto is a security. So he said that. So it's just a matter of properly defining what is and what isn't. So, also bullish. If XRP gets released, are you going to be buying? No, I'm not. ARK Invest, Kathy Wood, continues to stand by her prediction that within 5 years' time, that will be, obviously, after the next 4-year cycle, that Bitcoin will be hitting $500,000, right? I believe it. I believe Bitcoin's going to be above 100, somewhere between $150,000 to $200,000. And if we can hit that and we have a small little correction afterwards, then the next 4 years we continue forward, upwards, right? As the supply, dwindles down and continues to go down and more people want a piece. Yeah, 500,000 could be the bottom of 2026. It could be, we could be at 1 million plus by then, right? Seems impossible, but don't discount Bitcoin. Every single person that discounted Bitcoin throughout its 12-year history has been very, very, very wrong. So don't discount it. All right. What other news is there? Well, I have to talk about Solana. You guys know I love Solana. And unfortunately, they are having having problems right now. So I saw this Solana status. Their mainnet beta is experiencing intermittent instability. It's been ongoing for quite some time. They're still investigating. And the update from about an hour ago is saying there's resource exhaustion. Basically, there's 1,000 plus validators out there. And I don't know what that means exactly. If there's too many transactions or there's not enough of something, not enough compute power or something. We know Solana has been on fire recently. It's been taking up a lot of transactions, especially with NFTs. So we'll have to see what happens. The surprising thing, you would figure if something like this happened, usually you'll see the token tank, right? Solana did not tank. It's actually just going sideways, which shows you how strong people believe in the project. Yes, it's a young project, but there's so much already going for it. So that is why it's holding strong. And last time I saw their statistic, 76% of all SOL is staked in a validator. 76%. So think about that. Only 24% is out there floating around. And probably most of that is locked into NFTs anyways. So if you think about it, there's just not a lot floating around out there. So that's the latest. I'll keep you guys updated. Hopefully by the time I stream tonight, this will be resolved and everything will be back to normal. And lastly, Polygon. I have another project I told you guys about a long time ago. I told you not to sleep on it. It's doing pretty well today. That's why E&Y decided to, yes, E&Y, Ernst and Young, they have their own blockchain services, their consulting firm, and they're going to move everything and integrate it into Polygon. So don't sleep on Polygon. Polygon has a lot going for it. Even though it's a layer 2 for Ethereum, it could act as a side chain, but it also has its own chain which you could develop on, and there's many platforms that's moving towards it. And Mark Cuban loves Polygon. I'm surprised he doesn't try to talk about it more, but he really does like Polygon. All right. Lastly, you know what? I just want to bring this up because I couldn't believe it. Ethereum right now, look at the burn rate. It was just at 25 before I refreshed. Okay, I was wondering, have we hit a billion ETH burned? We're very, very close. 992 million. So we're getting close to 1 billion ETH burn. And this is only what, a matter of a month or two? 293,000 ETH, and it is burning at 20 plus per minute right now. 20 plus. I don't know what's going on with Ethereum right now. Like today, I've never seen a burn rate this high. I've seen it 8, 9, 10, 12. I've never seen 20, 21, 25. Something's going on with Ethereum. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's very, 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 very expensive to do anything on Ethereum right now, right? So the ETH burning, the EIP 5059 protocol is working beautifully. What's not working is the fact that it is still very congested, which is why you have layer 2s like Polygon and others like Phantom and Harmony. Of course, you have other chains like Solana and others. The reason why they're doing so well right now is because of this. Ethereum needs to solve this quickly. By the end of the year, they need to have that layer 2. Or I should say Ethereum 2, not layer 2. But a lot of other projects, Immutable X, I think they just debuted. There are a ton of dApps trying to move to that, right? You know, there's a lot of layer 2s, but this is the reason why. This is the reason why. A lot of congestion. But you know what? If you wanted to look for alternative to something like a Uniswap or SushiSwap or something else that is just a killer right now, $100 plus, $200 plus to trade, you could use something like Energy Swap, which is my partners. They have a very cool swap that basically trades hundreds of tokens and it's near feeless. It's near feeless. So there are a lot of alternatives out there. And something else I want to announce for Energy is they are trying to truly decentralize their master nodes and their entire network. They're going to implement something where they take a snapshot periodically of their chain so that it doesn't get very big. Because if you look at something like Ethereum, the size of it is growing astronomically. So pretty soon, as a normal miner or soon, staker, it's just enormous amount of data that you need to download. But for Energy, they want to solve that. They want to make it more decentralized, easier to run. So they're going to take snapshots and archive the old data off that you can still access, but it's not going to be as data intensive or storage intensive, I should say, based on new people coming into the space. So that is something else that they are working on. All right, outside of that, going back to Bitcoin, I don't have live coin watch up. I don't know why. All right, so let's bring up live coin watch. So overall today, the market is, of course, going up. So you have Bitcoin doing well. Ethereum is doing well despite the congestion that we're seeing, right? But you could see that others are doing well. Hey, Uniswap, even with the congestion, still up quite tremendously. Chainlink is finally getting a little bit of a bump right now. Chainlink has been quite weak recently, but you can see today overall is a pretty good green day. A lot of DeFi projects very hot right now. This could explain why the fees are so high. Aave, which has been really stagnant, you can see in the last 30 days it's still down 4%, up a good 21%. And you still have other very good, IOTA, a recent partner of mine, they're doing pretty well, 11%. You have SushiSwap up 21%. Yeah, today is definitely Synthetic, which is also in the DeFi space, up 24%. Today is like DeFi day. It really is like DeFi day, which is why I guess almost all these run on Ethereum. I guess that explains. That explains the gas fee. Let's see. Oh, you got to watch this. It doesn't have a summary yet. So I don't know. If you guys are watching this while you're watching me, tell me if something gets announced with Bitcoin and crypto or wallets, right? I'm anxious to hear. I think I'll know, because if something gets announced, this thing's going to pump up to the moon. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, before Q&A, I have a new sponsor for today. And they are a promising blockchain back from 2018. Those of you guys that like network protocols, keep in mind all network protocols are doing pretty good right now. But Aelf is one that came out in 2018. They had an ICO, and they came out because of the same reasons that protocols are hot these days. Because Ethereum was experiencing a ton of congestion and couldn't scale. So Aelf is a project that's meant to solve that. They are a highly scalable blockchain that is running on delegated proof of stake. And last time they ran in their testnet, they achieved 15,000 transactions per second. So that's not too shabby. But Aelf works a little bit differently. Usually you think of nodes as like a single computer, but they're doing a node as a cluster of computer. Right? So they call themselves self-evolving cloud computing blockchain network because of the cluster of computers. So basically, if you want to run a node, you can add computers and make it into one gigantic node where you're sharing processing power and storage. And because of that, they could do parallel processing, which is why they're able to scale, right? So if you want to scale and you want to make the network faster, you just add in more computers into these nodes and they will automatically take care of themselves. And also they have side chains, which is pretty common these days, but their smart contract is running individually on each side chain. So there's no worry about the main chain slowing down the side chains. And they have a lot of interoperability where they allow you to run different consensus protocols within each chain. For example, if you want to run proof of work, proof of stake, delegated proof of stake, you can do so on these side chains. That's what makes Aelf a little bit different than a lot of other projects. They're based in Singapore, by the way. And also, recently, they did turn on their mainnet, and you can now swap your token. Previously, of course, all ICOs, all ERC20 standard tokens, right? So recently, they launched their mainnet, and you could swap. This happened a few days ago on the 9th. So if you had your Aelf on exchanges, it would have automatically converted. But if you didn't, they do have their own website that you can go to. It's pretty easy to use. I mean, it works exactly the same as like Uniswap. Basically, you have your Aelf in your MetaMask wallet. You connect and approve, right? And it will just swap for you. The thing is, you have to realize that because of high congestion fees, it costs about $106 right now at least on this website, to make the swap. So if you are manually swapping, you probably want to wait until the fees die down a little bit. But these days, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell when, because even at night, like very late night for me, the fees are still quite high. So, but yeah, so they do have a website that actually helps with the swap in case you missed it. So that's Aelf in a nutshell. If you guys are interested, check them out. URL is in the description of this video. All right, guys, let's do some Q&A. Calvin sent an enormously huge super chat. Calvin, you did not need to do that. I told you not to do it, but I know you wanted to do anyways. But thank you for that. That's crazy, enormous super chat. Someone asked me, Gala's scrolling up. You know, Gala's into gaming. They're down a little bit today. That's because they pumped up like 100-something% yesterday. They got added on Binance, so that's why they pumped up. Is Radium a good project? Yes. Serum and Radium, they're both DEXs on top of Solana, and they're both really good. They're both really good. They have been doing well. Not as good as Solana themselves, but they have been moving up, right? And if you want to trade on Solana, that's what you want to use, right? Either Serum or Radium. Is Elrond better than Solana or ADA? No, I don't think so. But you could make the case that, I don't know, it's hard to say. Technology-wise, all these are Generation 3. You could even dub it Generation 4. They're all very fast, very scalable, have interoperability, all meant to handle, you know, DeFi, NFT marketplaces. So is one better than another? Who knows? From a technology standpoint, you could argue maybe one is more secure, one is faster, whatever. But ultimately what it comes down to is whether or not it can actually attract the dApp makers, whether or not it can attract the users. Because if you can't get the users or dApps, right? Then ultimately it's not going to go anywhere. So that's what's really more important. Quantum Project, a rated game working with Epic Game. I heard of them. They actually reached out to me. I may be doing something with them in the future. Someone asked, okay, I just answered that question. Have you looked into UMA or OMG? OMG is like basically rebranding into something else, but they're still trying to concentrate on layer 2s. But I've stopped looking at them for some time. And UMA is about creating synthetic tokens. They kind of died off because there's so many synthetic tokens out there, you know. So I've never been really big into either. Any feelings on Gelato Network finally releasing their coin? No, I don't. I don't have any feelings. When he has it like that, no, because I don't know too much about the project, so no. Is it safe to store coins on Coinbase? If you're new, you have a lot of your tokens on Coinbase or any exchanges. Just make sure you have 2FA turned on. Okay, password and then 2FA, and it'll be pretty secure. Pretty secure. Of course, the most secure is you move it to your own wallet, right? But then you have to worry about securing it, securing your passphrase, right? But you have to have 2FA turned on. And when I say 2FA, don't use text, don't use email, use Google Authenticator or Authy for that. Solana Network, there's C-Bridge and CKB with working with ADA. These two are the next dominant. I don't know about that. Just having a bridge. I know Cardano is using Nervos as a bridge, but whether or not that really makes Nervos, pump up because of it, I don't think so. I don't think so. Out of the two, I would still much rather hold Cardano than Nervos at this point. Have you looked at Stratos yet? It's a data mesh for cloud storage, computing, and database. It's like combining Filecoin and Theta. Market cap 15 million. I have not. Did you did you change your name to Pedro 2.0? No, I have not. Okay, maybe I'll look into that. Chain Garden. Hi from shopping.io. That's a big super chat. Hello. Sol blockchain had come to a halt due to a bug. What do you think this means? It means nothing. These chains, right? They're all relatively new. They're going to have hiccups. It really matters if they can continue executing and fixing it. That's really it. Let's not forget some of these major chains have all had hiccups before. So it's not anything new, and definitely not time to be panicking. What about Kraken? Is it safe? I've heard good things about Kraken. I don't use them before. Are you ready to buy Elrond? No, you don't buy things when it's pumping up like that. But congratulations. If you've been holding it, good for you. Good for you. Multivac MTV, I'm just neutral on. It's one of many new promising projects, just like Mina Protocol. Mina is backed by Coinbase, and I think they're listed on Coinbase. And they also, their whole blockchain is based on snapshots. But last time I heard, they can't scale. Their transactions per second is dirt slow. And the archiving seems to be a little iffy. So I don't know if they solved those problems. That's last time I checked a few months ago. But I think Mina overall has been doing pretty well too. Let's do 12 months. No. Actually, they have not been doing well compared to when they first debuted. So now they're starting to come up, but compared to when they first debuted back in April, yeah, they were pumped up to the moon already. But the last 90 days, they've been doing better. CEO of KuCoin is the founder of MTV and advisor. No, he's an advisor. He's not the founder. Would you ever have Peter Schiff on? Yeah, sure. For name recognition. There's no point of debating Peter on Bitcoin. But Peter is a very smart guy. Very smart guy. So I would just love to pick his brain on other things. But there's no point of trying to get him to get into Bitcoin or debate him on Bitcoin. There's no point of that. But for everything else in terms of economics and how things are done, how things were done, talking about inflation and money and all that stuff, I think it'll be a good conversation. I mean, I think that's why Anthony Pompliano loves to talk with him. Not for the debates, but because of all the other knowledge that he has. But it's just funny that he's so salty towards Bitcoin on Twitter. But I think that's his marketing strategy. He's doing it on purpose. Hedera, I'm neutral on. I think they do have a lot of things going for them, but their structure is just a little bit different than other crypto projects. That's all. D-Dub, thank you. Justin Fields and Andy Dalton. I don't really watch football, so I can't tell you which one I like better. I'll say Tom Brady. Market cap prediction for this bull run. I think it's gonna be somewhere around 8 to 10 billion. I think it's 8 to 10 billion, something like that. Views on Car main DeFi hub of Kusama. I don't know enough about it. Why isn't Ramp pumping? It's a $1,000 question, right? Or $1 million question, or $1 billion question. Some projects are fantastic and they don't pump. Some projects are not so good and they pump. It really depends on, I think sometimes it really depends on marketing. Sometimes you got to have good marketing, get people to actually really know what you're about and buy in, right? That's really what it comes down to. Snowfall says, I've missed your super chat. I don't know. Say it again. Saying that is not going to help. These super chats, if you guys can see my screen, my live chat is just like going. Even though I have slow chat on, it's just like constant going. And if you're sending a smaller super chat under $10, it disappears really quick, like within a minute or two. So it's not that I'm purposely skipping over it. Well, sometimes I do when it's when it's obviously a shill question, but I didn't do it on purpose. What else is there? Lots of Tezos ads at sports stadiums. I didn't even hear that. See that again? I think Tezos is a good project, a good example of a project where they're relatively big. A lot of people know about them. Obviously, they're worth $6 billion, but I don't hear a lot of press about them. Like none of the news publications really talk about them, right? So I don't really know what's going on with them. But so that's a good example of not having enough marketing, in my opinion. Stratus, they're an old project. I believe they're the ones that supports .NET, and I have not heard anything about them. At once upon a time, I thought maybe Microsoft would do something more with them because they are all about .NET programming, but haven't heard anything for a long time. All right, guys, I'll let you guys go. I don't know if Apple announced something. Probably not because Bitcoin has not pumped up yet, but there's still time. There's still time. Let's see what happens with Apple. If they don't announce anything today, rest assured, it's coming, okay? They didn't just put this posting out, right, for the hell of it, for fun. This is coming. Apple Pay will have a crypto wallet and have the ability to store crypto at least and spend crypto. I don't know about buying and selling. And who knows if Apple is eyeing Bitcoin themselves too. But in the meantime, you got a lot of very bullish things going on. So definitely exciting time, guys. Even though we're under 50,000, we could be above 50,000, 60,000 in no time. The next 3 months are months you don't want to miss. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Take care.